With Wizards of the Coast trying to ensure a premium price for a premium product like Lord of the Rings, they've gone ahead and added in box toppers. And now it's time to talk about the value or lack of value inside. Wizards of the Coast, you set the trap, and now you're waiting to see if the players are going to bite. Welcome back, everyone. MTG Moxman here. Thanks again for hanging out with me on the channel today. This is interesting. We've seen box toppers before, but these ones are a little different so far. I've got to say, Wizards of the Coast has kind of pulled out all the stops, and we're going to look at the cards, but let's talk about the financial implications first. Look at the set as a whole. I've been looking at pre-release pricing as well as pre-release sales. Interesting to see the sales are not jacking up yet. They're still kind of really low as we wait to see what spoilers come out. But when you're looking at the overall sales of sealed product, it's higher than it normally is. Okay, that's what I'm getting from the stores around me. It is higher than normal. The box toppers are an attractive addition when you look at them as a single piece because those cards can fit into all kinds of decks. A lot of Commander stuff. And we know as Commander is still the most favored and played format, it's a great way to get those Commander players looking over saying, hey, what are you putting in there? What? There's a card I want! It makes you look. And also allows Wizards of the Coast to cash in some of that reprint equity. Now, the funny thing is we're about to have Commander Masters, and they're going to be cashing in a lot of reprint equity on that set to make sure it goes off well. So I was personally a little surprised to see how well they have packaged Lord of the Rings so far. They're making sure the mana base is fairly strong. When we take a look at the cards they showed us for inside those box toppers, a lot of them are stronger than normal cards. But I want to make some people aware of this. Remember, when you're looking at any of these type of box topper style cards, you're not getting as many as you think you are, right? Like there's one per box, and out of a case of 6, that's only 6 opened. And of those, only some will be the truly sought after cards, like a Cavern of Souls type card. That's why those cards never lose too much value. That reprint equity, although it's inside the set, is being very managed. It's being very carefully selected, track printed properly to make sure the price does dip 15-20%, but not too much. Wizards of the Coast is making a very intelligent play, playing on what players want out of cards and out of the availability of cards, and making sure they package it into a fairly decent product with some great cards players want to play, as well as the nostalgic feel of the Tolkien world. This, to me, really will play well with players. It doesn't have to play well with us here on the channel. I know people have different opinions. I get it. Rage and anger. I understand that. But at the same time, putting the rage and anger aside and understanding how the basic mind works for people, they're going to buy it. You may not. I may not. I'm going for the singles route and maybe a box or two for the future. But for a lot of players out there, they're still going to buy a box, split with some friends, go to pre-release draft nights, Friday F&M, whatever it may be. And they're still going to buy singles. This product is going to go well. And it's going to go better now because they put in those box toppers. Now, I want to show you some of these box toppers and the ones I think are most interesting, because when you're looking at these, you have to understand they're going to be harder to get. They are going to be managed like we just said, but they are going to draw in a crowd when they get opened. You're going to be kind of excited, okay? Because some of the artwork is really cool. So let's look at the first one here. Deserted Temple from Odyssey. There's the original printing I put in the background there with the new weather top one over top of it. Now, this card right now has a market price as of the 31st of May. The market price is $29.79. So you got to picture this card's going to drop to around the $24 level. That's what the original is going to drop to. Weather top here, though, is probably going to hold a $20 plus level. It's going to be very sought after. Players are going to like the look of it, and they're going to want to own this card because it has a nice ability of tapping for colorless, but also you can untap target land. And think of all the crazy legendary lands out there you may want to untap, or other unique lands that can give you abilities you want to get your hands on that aren't going to be legendary. There's quite a few, ways of using cards like this. Wizards of the Coast is well aware of that. So you as a player, you've got to be aware of it too, of what they're doing. This card will probably be better just buying it as a single. Don't try to hunt this card down by opening boxes. Of course, that'd be silly. People are going to pay a top dollar. Wizards knows that. They know that people are going to open the boxes, get whatever they get, trade stuff in, and of course that leaves it to the LGS level to start making some serious money on some of these cards. So for a card like this, I would still wait the 90 days, but if you really got to have it, let's face it, 25, 30 bucks is not going to break the bank for any of us. Now the next card, Cavern of Souls, or in this case, Paths of the Dead. I love the card. I'm serious, guys. That artwork, it made me just like go, oh yeah, I remember the movie. It's awesome. This is a card I'm going to get my hands on. The Moxman is going to be buying this card for sure. Will I be waiting? Probably. Will I look for a deal? Absolutely. But I am going to buy it. And I only have a certain time frame that I'm willing to wait. After 90 days, if it doesn't drop much, I'm just going to buy it because I want to put this into a deck. Now, a card like this, you've noticed it's been as high as 75. It's dropped down to that 50 level, right? It's been reprinted multiple times since Avacyn Restored. But it always seems to recover to a certain level. Because this thing's not going back ever into a main product line. They're going to keep it in these premium products as specialty things to get, and they will always try to recover the reprint equity of this card, at least for the near future until they think of something better to do. This card's going to drop about 15-20% for a short-term window only, and then start trending up. That's what the history tells me on a card like this, so keep an eye out for it. This is a card that I'm definitely getting. Now, Ancient Tomb. I know there's a varied opinion on Balin's Tomb, okay? Now, the idea of the card from Tempest being Ancient Tomb, they kind of fit together. It's kind of nice, actually. A little bit of thing there. Now, adding 2 to your mana pool and taking 2 damage. I get it, but a lot of people still enjoy the card. Now, it already started trending down. We've already noticed a bit of a tick for this card, but nobody knows, because we haven't opened boxes yet, we don't know how bad the track printing is. We don't know how difficult it's going to be to get these cards. And when you are unaware of how difficult it's going to be, this could be 1 in the case, 1 in 2 cases, 1 in 3 cases, maybe more likely in a collector box versus a set booster, or they can do it numerous ways, and that's how it's going to play out. Cards like that are going to be a little more sought after. They're going to hold value more than people think they will, because you have to understand the company and the mentality of that company in managing IP resource. Now, this was a little bit more interesting that kind of caught my eye. Minimo, the School of Water's Edge, Champions of Kamigawa. This card was around that $30 level, 32 bucks. I love the new artwork. I think it looks awesome as Dol Amoth. Guys, again, look what it does. A blue and tap it to untap target legendary permanent. Think of all the legendary permanents in Commander. They realize this is a staple card a lot of people want to get their hands on. This thing's going to drop to probably, I would guess, around the $20 level. It's going to lose a little more than some of the other cards. It's not as sought after, so it will lose more reprint equity. And it's probably going to take a longer time to get a reprint. If the equity doesn't recover quick enough, Wizards will be a little bit shy about throwing this one to the wolves when they don't have to. Now, of course, they did upshift this to Mythic, which is interesting. They know it has some value, and they're going to try to just nurture this one along, I think. But this will be more likely to be found than, say, a Cavern of Souls, right? They understand where they're going with stuff like this, and that's what makes it just kind of that card to pay attention to. All these cards are not going to be hits. They've got quite a few cards going into this thing. So when you have this many cards of alternate versions for the Lord of the Rings, there'll be some people that want to collect them all. I understand that. There'll be some people looking for specific cards. Definitely go the singles route. And Wizards has prepared for all of this because they already know what you're thinking. They already know what I'm thinking. This is like 1984, man. Now, take a look at this. This is the one you're going to find a lot of. Here is Bojuka Bog. This is from World Wake. It's actually not a bad card, by the way. When you see what the card does, when it enters the battlefield, exile target player's graveyard. Very effective when needed, right? You can just lay a land, nuke somebody's graveyard. Depending on the deck you're playing against, it can be in all kinds of decks as a throw-in land with a little extra catch of an ability. It doesn't have high value. And when a card like this doesn't have high value, they don't care how many times they put that in there. So in a case of all the choices they have, that's probably going to show up 2 or 3 times more than other choices out there. Getting the Cavern of Souls, the Paths of the Dead, which is awesome. Getting Balin's Tomb. Guys, some of these cards are going to be a lot more difficult to get than people probably realize. They forget how difficult some of these cards are. Even when they gave us Zendikar Rising. Fetch lands were not everywhere. They were still harder to get. They gave us a whole bunch of like luxury suite and all those fast land type things. They gave us alternate things. Remember like Celestial Colonnade and stuff like that. Way more than they gave you a fetch land. So expect the same treatment. Don't fall for it. If you need a card, wait for it. Now, besides waiting for it, though, I have to appreciate again the time and effort Wizards has gone to make sure this is going to be a successful product. They made sure that even if these cards from Lord of the Rings dip, which they will, after the product's released, everything crashes, they are trying to ensure there is enough value there to warrant the price point they've assigned to it. Remember, it doesn't cost them anything in terms of physical money to put some reprint equity into a product. They already own the IP. Yeah, they can lose some theoretical money, but they're not losing hard-earned cash, not physical money. So if they want to ensure a product goes off well, they can do things like this. They can insert some value into a box topper style card, a serialized card, and say, look at this product, looks pretty awesome. And you kind of, as a player, go, yeah, you know what, at least, if I get this and this, there's a box topper, I got this, there's a chance for these cards, there's cards I want to play. It can make sense in your mind to want to go out and buy it. And I can appreciate that. I can stand by that and say, I may not like how you do it. It might be market manipulation by a company, but I can appreciate the time and effort it took them to put this product together to do this. And that's where I stand right now on stuff like this. I'm going to go the singles route. I'm going to be cracking boxes and having fun for 401 games. We are going to have a blast here on the channel playing with this product, and a lot of players are going to enjoy it. But it doesn't mean you should go out and just buy boxes. That's not what it means. It means pick out the cards you really want. I still think we're in a singles world right now. I don't think that's changed. For people who think there's going to be future value here, that may happen. I got to see a lot more spoilers and see if there's a better Balrog out there for me. This is ridiculous, right? What are we talking about? Either way, thanks again for hanging out on the channel. Thank you to everyone who's been hitting that subscribe channel again, because we are getting closer each and every day to the 20,000 subscriber mark. 10 subscribers a day, 20 subscribers a day, 1 subscriber a day, they all matter. You guys leaving comments in the comment section, giving these videos a thumbs up. Guys, I appreciate it. I appreciate being able to be here with you each and every day. That you choose to watch my content means a lot. So thanks again, everyone out there. Have an awesome day today. Enjoy some Magic. Lord of the Rings does look good. I can't help it. It doesn't matter what I originally thought, where I was like, I gotta say, that video they put together, the Twitch stream, the pre-sales, the market hype, I'm not falling prey to market hype, but I can appreciate some of the cards and some of the artwork they've put together. I don't like all of it, obviously, but I do like some of it. Guys, thanks a lot for hanging out with me today. I will see you all tomorrow for another video. Let's have a good one. All right, guys, this is that moment. These are the patrons, the ones who make it happen on this channel. A big shout out and thank you to each and every one of you guys. I know it's difficult sometimes, and you're just amazing to be there each and every day for the channel. You're the reason this content happens. Welcome back to the end of the video. Now, normally, the ramble jamble, the nachos and cheese section of this video, I would be going on about something Lord of the Rings. Maybe we'll add some Jay and Silent Bob. Maybe talk Transformers or G.I. Joe, but in this case, we're going to talk something different. Legacy. Legacy patrons. I am working on something that is not quite ready. I originally thought I was going to have it completed, but I have to get certain ducks in a row. So for anyone who watches my videos and watches to the end, this really does matter for patrons mainly, okay? I'll be honest. It's for patrons. If you're a patron of my channel, it's going to matter. Because certain patrons have been with me a long time. And I'm trying to get something set up that will benefit the patrons forever. Forever. For as long as, forever. For as long as I'm on YouTube. Forever. So even if a patron leaves and doesn't support the channel anymore because they can't for whatever reason, or they hate my content, they get bored and move on to some other crazy game, whatever it may be, but they support it long enough, for a long enough period of time, that they will be remembered forever and benefit from helping a channel like mine get started. I'm working on it. I'm not there yet, but I'm working on it. Guys, have an awesome day. And to all my patrons, YouTube membership members, for all you guys out there, thanks for sticking by me. It means a lot.